You'll love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Hello, everybody. Me again. Welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds. I'm Matty, and this is your Millwall preview. Ella Road, FA Cup. Bring it on. Time for a few changes. Mix the side up a little bit, I think. Millwall. Millwall. Taking my little lad. Well, taking one of my little lads to this game, Theo. It's going to be a feisty one, I think. Hopefully, the Millwall massive will come out in the droves and make it a decent atmosphere. I know it's been an FA Cup game and travelling from London, they might not be up for it, but it is Leeds United. They tend to come in the droves, don't they, when they play at Ellen Road to the fans. So I'm hoping Millwall will make the long trip up from London up north to Ellen Road and hopefully put on it'll be a decent spectacle for Leeds United anyway, and I think it will. Last time we played Millwall, we lost 1-0. And if you haven't seen my reaction to that, go check it out from a few months back. I went in quite hard that Leeds were going to smash them. Probably the same as I'm going to do on this video. We are going to smash Millwall on Saturday. 12:15 kickoff. I think it's going to be an hammering. Genuinely do. I mean, I can't profess to know, or expect what Millwall are going to do in terms of their starting lineup. You'd expect changes. You would. FA Cup game. There's no way Millwall expect, I don't think, to go through. For me, they're playing a Premier League side in this FA Cup draw, so we are at that level now. We are at the level of a side who are going up. We're going to be preparing now in the background, I think, to be a Premier League side next season. I've been there mentally all season, but now you can see it's clicking into motion now for Leeds as a club, as a team. Every single player is a vital piece of this puzzle, and they're all bringing stuff now. We saw with Millier against Coventry how he stepped up in the last performance and clean sheet after clean sheet after clean sheet. Difference with us and everybody else is we're banging goals in as well, and we're creating so many chances. We could have more goals, yes, but let's not be greedy. We're absolutely smashing it in terms of how many goals we scored. His defence is absolutely rock solid. If it wasn't for Burnley doing freakishly, annoyingly amazing things, would be best defensive league team in this league as well. But yeah, it's we're doing some really good stuff. Millwall, I expect them to come. I expect them to be dogged, be Millwall. They're going to get in his faces. They're gonna try and, I think, play anti-football. We saw their place. They haven't got good individuals. They've always been well drilled of Millwall at keeping games quite tight. I mean, when they win, they tend to be by odd goal. If they can get you into a dogfight, that's what they'll want to do, especially at Ellen Road. For me, that's their only chance of getting anything out of this game and progressing in FA Cup, is to turn it into their sort of game. If Leeds play our game, we should blow them out of the water, because quality-wise, they haven't got it. The last two games where we've played really well, Cardiff and obviously Coventry, the other team have sort of engaged a little bit and wanted to play. They haven't shown us too much respect, really. They've gone and played their own game to their own downfall, really. And I quite admire them for that. Fair enough. I mean, I couldn't believe what I've seen at Ellen Road last weekend against Cardiff. I can't believe what they were trying to do. Gaps all over for us to expose. And Coventry again as well, the high line, the pace we've got to get behind. We've got by them so many times. Millwall, I think, will try and plug them gaps. It'll probably be quite tight. I think if we get an early goal, it changes it. Obviously, it's what we say every week. Will Leeds get an early goal? I believe they will. We score. We start really quick. We score early these days. We really do. We're really good at scoring early and scoring late to put the game to bed, which we almost had against Coventry with a late non-goal goal. That's how we tend to do it. It's sometimes that bit in middle where it becomes a bit frustrating. We're usually up, stable, in control, but annoyingly not putting his foot down on gas. And then we end with a goal maybe towards the end of the game. And sometimes it flatters us in terms of how the game's played at spells this season. Now you're just seeing that middle bit is really, it's spread out through the 90 minutes now as a performance. This last month, bar Burnley, you're seeing a much more polished Leeds United, a much more confident Leeds United. And I think this Millwall game's a nice distraction. We've got a lot of players chomping a bit for minutes. We haven't got a massive squad in terms of numbers, but now everyone's fit bar Bamford. It looks a really big, healthy, good, decent squad. It's a really good time now to experiment. So before I get into what I think about our team in terms of a lineup, let's just check on Millwall. Let me get this up. Present, share screen. Let's have a little dive into Millwall. Where are they in the league? 14th in league. I mean, when we played them last, I think they were just outside playoffs. And there, when the beat us 1-0, it took them into playoffs. But yeah, 14th. I mean, when you look at their like away from home, we're really usually good at home. 11th, so not great away from home at all. 14 played only 3 wins on the road, only 4 losses or a lot of draws. It's what you expect to Millwall, like I say, tight games. So yeah, I mean, out of the 14 away trips, they've left 10 of them with something, which is not bad really. Only 4 losses. They don't score many goals at all, but defensively they're not a bad side. Like I say, it's just very typical of Millwall, and it's just what you expect. No matter who the manager is, no matter what year it is, you expect Millwall to be, hard to beat. At home, they usually really hard to beat, but this season they haven't been as formidable at home. If I'm honest, they really haven't. I mean, what, they're 14th at home, 7 wins out of 16. It's decent, 7 wins, but 6 losses out of them, 16 too. Only scoring 18 goals, but the defence at home is pretty good. 1.5 points per game. But I mean, if that home form could be a little bit better, they could be up pushing playoffs really, which is where they were before. But it's soon fallen flat, which I knew it would. I knew when they beat us and they were giving it the big uns. I mean, let's have a quick look at that game. Actually, I've got the stats on here. Fixture results. This would be an interesting read. So you go right back to 6th of November when I lost my head on the 7th. You look at this game. This was, so when we played that game, we were 3rd on 26 points. They were 8th on 19. They won that and it took them into playoffs. I think they ended up 6th after that game. But look at the possession. I could not believe we lost that game of football. 75% possession against 25%. We had 15 shots, 5 on target. The shots, we had almost double their shots, but only 1 shot extra on target, which is what I've said recently. Our clinical edge, our cutting edge for large spells of this season was nowhere near where it should be. Somehow still top scorers in league, even when we weren't performing close to his XG, just because we have that many chances. Normally, we are bound to put a couple of them away. Our XG in that game was 1.45, so we should have really got a goal in that. We didn't. Theirs were just under a goal, and they got it. But yeah, like I say, it's sort of vital to know that against Millwall, it don't matter how much a ball you have. If you don't take your chances and you gift them one, they can take it. They're a side who have notoriously been good from set pieces. They're not probably going to carve us open, if I'm honest. I mean, the Tanganga's goal, centre half, comes in from a corner. It's just typical, isn't it? I think it was Jake Cooper. I'm sure it was a knock on from Jake Cooper, another centre half, and then it falls to Tanganga and he squeezed it home. And it's really annoying to lose a game of football from a set piece when we absolutely battered them in terms of control, but it wasn't a free flowing, blistering attack of Leeds United like we're seeing now. It really wasn't on that day. Although we dominated and certainly performed the better out of both sides. So we'll go back to here. Look at some of the players. So when it comes to top scorer, Duncan Watmore on 5. I remember saying this on my last preview. Duncan Watmore, if he's your main guy, you've got problems. I remember him as a youth at Sunderland. He's just not, for me, he's just not a great player. Play out wide, playing 10. Yeah, I mean, you look at that, and they've got George Honeyman, most assist, another ex-Sunderland player. Just very, very average players. And they're their top goal scorer and top assist maker, George Honeyman and Duncan Watmore. That's, I don't want to sound awful because I probably get Millwall fans on here, especially if they beat us, but they're really low-end championship, I'd say League One standard players, and they're their top performers in terms of goals and assists. But like I say, if we're not on it, could this spark a surprise? Potentially. Do I see Leeds not being on it? Not at all. I think Leeds will be absolutely well up for this because you're talking players now at Leeds United who are all chomping at the bit to be playing. This side could be well changed. So a few Leeds fans expect not many changes. I expect maybe a good 6 or 7. I mean, I'll go through our changes, what I expect now, and count up how many there is. I think Darlow comes in for Melier. I think Biden plays instead of Firpo. I think Strout plays instead of Ampadu. I think Rodon starts. I think Bogle starts. I don't think he plays Schmidt. Should do, but I don't think he will. He's been getting no minutes since his Harrogate performance. I'd like to see him play maybe at left back and at Biden at right back. That'd be decent, but I just don't think he'll play him. I think Bogle starts. I think Nonto comes in on the right for Dan James. I think Ramazani comes in for Solomon. I think you see Aronson stay in, and I think Joseph comes in. And then I think midfield, you see Gilavogi and Rothwell. So what's that, 8 changes? Yeah, decent amount of changes. That's what I see Leeds playing. I think Gilavogi partners Rothwell in midfield. And I've been really interested to see how Gilavogi plays there because he looked shaky when he played against Harrogate. Did not look like a centre half. So let's get him in midfield, let him get some minutes in them legs. There's no reason why he can't play in this game for me. And I think that's a great 11 for a second string. You think of some players you've had to play in past in games like this when you're resting half, if not more than half your team, rotating them. I mean, you've got to think we are playing again midweek. So for me, I don't think it's a game you can risk. I mean, you won't want to risk playing, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday. You can't really risk it for me. When we have got, a couple of injuries in these key positions and, we will be worried, won't we? So I think it's key in this game you rotate with a view of going full strength and full throttle at Watford. I'd love to see Nonto continue what we saw against Cardiff. He almost got a goal again yesterday, so it looks like we've got the Nonto of old back. It looks like he's hungry, chomping a bit. Give him 90 minutes in this game or give him a start. Whether you bring him off, that we'll see how the game state is. But give Nonto a go. Ramazani again, he's chomping a bit. He's looking hungry. Get him going. You could find Joseph as well. You could find our front 4, 3 of them probably will likely to change. Maybe Aronson stays in, but you can find that front 4 again, come up with 2, 3, 4 goals apiece. They're all chomping at the bit. It's such an exciting top end at pitch for Leeds United. So exciting. And you know what you're going to get from Rothwell, and Gilavogi should give that steal in front of that back 4. Give Strout some minutes. He may even see Voba play. This is a game that might play Voba because if he's fully fit, he's on bench. If he's fully fit, he has to be playing in games like this because when else is he going to get minutes? So maybe you see Voba play. Maybe a left back, I don't know. There's so many options where I don't feel like we're weakened too much. You can experiment in stuff in this game, I think, and still come out victors. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see the lineup. It was the same with the Harrogate game when it were all going on about Millier. We're like, I can't wait to see this lineup. And it's an FA Cup game. It's not the be-all and end-all for Leeds United. How are you going to win the FA Cup? No, but I tell you what, we get through this round, you start having a little look, don't you? There'll be a lot of people not asked about this. If we lose, it is what it is. As long as you beat Watford, they aren't bothered. But we get through in this round. You're looking at that draw. Depending on who you get, you start thinking then, don't you? You start thinking, is he a Wembley charge on here? Is he a Wembley charge on here? You start having these thoughts. So I think we should win this game. I want us to win this game. I want us to rotate, win it, go again. Let's have a decent draw in next round and let's just keep going. So I predict, typical Matty fashion, I'd normally go 3-0. I think Leeds win this 4-0. I think the 3 up top all get 1. I think Ramazani gets 1, Nonto gets 1, Joseph gets 1. And I'm going to tip a goal from a centre half. I'm going to tip a goal from Pascal if he plays. I think we're going to score a corner. I think we're going to score a set piece in this one. But yeah, I think all those forward players are going to have a really good game. I expect an early goal. I can see Nonto getting one in opening 15 minutes, and then after that, then I just see us controlling and just trying to be clinical again. Because if we're clinical, we're going to score 3-4 a game at the minute because we're creating that many chances. Be interesting to see how many changes he does and how that affects the flow, because we've seen these last couple of games now, they're in full flow. Changing so many, is that going to affect it? Potentially, but they're so good. They're such good, talented players, these, and they need minutes. And it's only good for more competition. So hopefully no injuries, because we can't afford injuries. We sort of know that we're not bringing anybody in. At full strength, bar Bamford, we are good enough to win this league every day at week and twice on a Sunday. It's such a great set of lads. I'm fully behind them and expect them to do well. So yeah, I'm going 4-0 Leeds. And yeah, take care. That's my prediction and my preview for Leeds versus Millwall. Take care, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Please stick a like on the video on your way out. Please subscribe if you haven't already.